Good.
Yeah. Wouldn't let me go live.
Really? Waiting for 4 o'clock. You just close something.
It won't open. I've been messing with this for 30 minutes.
I'm your host and the world's #1 diversity recruiter, Kenneth L. Johnson, and I've been waiting a long time to bring you the Career Seekers team. Tiffany Southerland, career coach, Alberta Bertolino, recruitment coach, videographer Will Martin, and together we are your #1 source for career and job search information. We'll be back after the break.
The Career Seekers Show on
Terry Tobin, good looking out. It's the Career Seekers Show live on WPPM LP Philadelphia. We're in the building today, full house today. A great spring day to just do exactly this. It's the Career Seekers Show. AB, Alberta Bertolino, Tiffany Sutherland at Tiff South.
Yes, indeed.
Will Martin in the building.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Seekers.
We got a really busy day today, y'all. We got my man Eric Callett is coming in from Lowe's Home Improvement. And then also we have Matthew Shinda of Verge Mobile. New to Philadelphia, Verge Mobile is. So I'm excited to have them in the building.
Yeah, I'm interested to learn more about Verge Mobile. I know that I think they're connected to T-Mobile in some way.
Yes.
But,
Okay. Yeah, so you know more than me.
we're going to learn some more today.
Yeah.
We going to learn today.
Maybe too much.
I couldn't help myself.
Well, learning is a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
You know what, speaking of learning, this weekend had an unbelievable time hanging out in Times Square at Microsoft for the IGDA social media career fair in New York City. It was a really, really good look. I want to shout out everybody that was at the event. A few people there told me they would be listening today. Also, shout out to my people over there at Harlem Underground. I really appreciate y'all for holding us down, the Career Seekers Show, 2/5 Madison Ave, East Side. Speaking of East Side, Jay Glover, thanks for watching the show and tuning in all the time. Tiff South, how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I was in Maryland again. I've been spending a lot of time in Maryland. I know, Kenneth, you went to
College Park.
I was reading something somewhere and someone wrote, was it Fear the Turtle?
Fear the Turtle, please believe it.
Like,
Tuskegee.
okay, that's fine.
That's what we do.
Everyone has to have their pride in something. But no, everything.
So Cornell, you guys are the Cornell.
We are the Big Red. So it's not really
so it's
like
really just like
it's
a color.
a bear.
Yeah.
The Big Red is a bear.
And yet
but
you have the red.
Oh, you noticed that? Yeah,
Poplar.
there you go.
You see how that happened, right? And I'm also a member of Double Sigma
That's what I thought you were on.
Is that also
So,
right?
yes, it is.
Ah.
So, no, but I had a great weekend. Happy that the weather has broken a bit.
Again.
And it's just a good day. Happy to be here.
AB was popping.
Well, first I gotta say, maybe if she keeps heading down to Maryland, maybe we're gonna have to go down a little further south.
Right.
Do
The
South
broadcast
Philly.
there.
Weekend was good. Week has been just jam-packed full of things. Had a great meeting yesterday. I want to give a shout out to the people at Burlington County Rowan College. I participated in my first committee meeting for WISE, which is Women in Sustainable Employment, and it's helping women realize other options of jobs and careers that they can have, not just, so it's electricians and utility workers, and so there's a lot of big utilities involved and energy companies that are involved in making this happen. So shout out to you guys.
How did you learn about that organization? Or were you invited to be on the board? Or?
Well, it's not on the board actually.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, if I had but anyway, so it's just a committee, and so it's a committee comprised of so it's a committee comprised of a bunch of big companies, but someone from my own company had already been part of it since day one, and it's a cohort of classes, and women sign up and they go through 4 days of full day classes, and then you not only learn about safety and the protective equipment you got to wear on at these companies and for the jobs, but then you also get mock interviews and you work on your resume and interview skills, and then you're tested in some of the companies, and then you're hoping to get a job
in that
Right,
industry.
yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how have women been finding, like, the women that you've seen in the class, are they like excited? Because it's like, it sounds like careers that are not traditional
Absolutely,
for women.
right, absolutely. And that's a lot of what we talked about in the committee yesterday, and it's just it's education, getting the word out. Do we need to start in the high school level? Do we need to start with little kids? You know, women don't necessarily think of those jobs for themselves, so.
There's a woman who has a auto mechanic shop. Her name is Patrice Banks, and it's called Girls Auto Clinic.
Okay.
Out in I don't want to mess up exactly where it is, but it's in the Philadelphia area.
Okay.
And she has a shop of women mechanics.
It's
and
just all
she's
women.
the owner. It's all women, and it started out of her need for tired of being run around by male mechanics, basically. And so her story, and she's been all over, like, doing, she has a TEDx talk and just a really excellent, I can't wait to get a car so I can go, but it's that same concept of being, that same concept of women being invited into non-traditional careers, because there's a job, women can do anything.
Absolutely.
Except be a man, right? So that's like,
So we're still in the Salute the Women's History Month mode here on the Career Seekers Show.
I think
we're
we are.
always going to be, Kenneth.
Didn't we say we need to celebrate it all year long?
All year.
Speaking of the Career Seekers Show, check us out, please, www.careerseekers.work. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, we're open to all your questions, at Alberta Recruits for Alberta Bertolino, at Tiff South for Tiffany Southerland, at KL Johnson Info for yours truly, Kenneth L. Johnson. Or just give us a call, 215-923-WPPM. Once again, 215-923-WPPM. Or check out the show at US Career Seekers on Twitter. This is what we do. It's the Career Seekers Show. Yes, we're all over the place. Speaking of all over the place, it's probably about time that we run through the neighborhood job list, the neighborhood career listings, because we have guests today. We're going to move the show up a little. So we're speeding, really, really speeding today. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we do. It's the Career Seekers Show. So, Tiff South, I believe that you are going to kind of run us through West Philly, Center City, and then Alberta, South Philly, South Jersey. I'll back us up. North Philly, Northwest. Let's do it, Tiff.
All right, so starting in West Philly, and this is at Career Link at 3901 Market Street. We have on Thursday, there are 3 workshops on Thursday, April 6th. That is tomorrow. There is a writing cover letters workshop. Cover letters, the workshop will cover tips and guidance and assistance in creating cover letter, which is the first thing often that employers see if you submit your application, and that's at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, at 3901 Market Street. The next opportunity is networking to find a job, and we talk about networking all the time. 3901 Market Street on Thursday, April 6th at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. You learn the importance of networking in your job search and obtaining various networking strategies, including the preparation of a 30-second elevator pitch. Do not pitch anyone for 30 minutes. Do not tell them that the Career Seekers told you to do that. That's a long pitch.
I think you got the job. If they give you 30 minutes,
you got the job, right? The next thing we have is social media and the professional image, which I think is so important. I actually might try and see if I can go to this. This is Thursday, April 6th from 2 to 3 p.m. And you learn the importance of having a professional image on social media and ways to use social media sites for your job search needs. That's very important, and that's tomorrow, April 6th from 2 to 3 in West Philly. Last but not least, on Friday, we have a hands-on LinkedIn presentation from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You learn to create and optimize a profile on LinkedIn and other networking websites. Learn how to market your personal brand. There's a lot of conversation, and I think that we'll probably do a show coming soon about personal branding. This is at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Friday, 3901 Market Street. And last but not least, in West Philly, we have peer mock interviews Friday from 2 to 3. If you need to practice your interview skills, show up on Friday, 3901 Market Street from 2 to 3 p.m. to learn your interview skills. And in Suburban Station, 1617 JFK, Thursday we have peer mock interviews also. This is a little bit longer of a workshop from 1 to 4 p.m. If you need to practice your interview skills, show up there. On Friday, the rest of these are all going to be Friday. We have computer class where you can learn keyboarding skills. There's never too much you can learn about typing and get better on the computer. Friday, April 7th, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you have legal issues and employment from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, Paul Cohen will be talking about how to effectively communicate barriers during your employment search. Also Friday at 10 a.m. to 1:30, this is orientation and the welcome process for members 55 and over. And last but not least, from 1 a.m. to 3 p.m., we have computer class for beginners, and this is Friday, April 7th, and this is all at 1617 JFK for CareerLink.
I'm just laughing because I just can't get over how much stuff is just happening and what this shows. And, you know, obviously Kenneth and I are going to add a little bit into it, but if you want help with your career, with your resume, with your interviewing skills, any piece of it, there is help out there.
Absolutely.
You just, you know, we're going to provide it and give it to you and
Right.
where you need to go, but there's other places that you can get it.
Absolutely.
So, so I had forgotten we were having Lowe's on today, so I did know that there is a job fair tomorrow, 9 to 4. I know they're going to talk more about that. It's in Voorhees. But next Thursday, the 13th, there is a Veterans and Spouses Career Fair hosted by the Camden County Board of Freeholders. But not only is it a career fair, there's going to be workshops about bridging the gap, career transition, interviewing, and resume skills. The organizers are really looking forward to it at BB&T Pavilion in Camden. It's their 5th annual, and it has risen innumerably in the amount of people that are coming. So I also did a little research, and there is a South Jersey, well actually it's all New Jersey, and it's called New Jersey Career Connections, which is very similar to the CareerLink that we've been talking about every week here.
Very nice.
And it's in Camden, they call it the Camden County One-Stop Career Center.
Okay.
And that particular location is 2600 Mount Ephraim Avenue in Camden. So available at that location, job search assistance, reemployment orientation, resume assistance, interviewing skills, Jersey Job Club, Just for You, veteran services, vocational rehab, mature worker services, youth services, ex-offender, on. And I hope to, in the next weeks and weeks that we're on the show, I'm going to be bringing you exactly when those classes are taking place.
All right.
Yep.
Yep, that's what I got.
South Philly.
Yeah,
Come on, we got stuff for you next time around.
I promise.
No doubt. All right, let's do it. It's North Philly. 5th and Bristol. I was out there yesterday. Francis Cam, good looking out. Thanks for putting me in line with what's going on out there. 10 o'clock Thursday, you got the Community Partner Equal Opportunity Center. 11, Network to Find a Job. That'll be 1 hour long. 2 o'clock, Ace the Interview, all in North Philly. Then you bring it back for Friday the 7th, North Philly, 5th and Bristol, Choosing the Right Employer. That's an hour. That starts at 11 o'clock on Friday. Also, what are transferable skills? You need to know that. 1 o'clock Friday. 1:30, Legal Issues and Employment. Let's go. Navigating the Job Gateway is at 2 o'clock. We're going to take it over, Gee. We're going to take it to Germantown.
Yes, sir.
Germantown Ave, Haines Street, Northwest Philly. So you have an interview April 6th at 11 to 12. That's the time you're going to hear about that. Ace the Interview, April 6th, 1 to 2. Completing online applications, April 7th, 11 to 12. Developing soft skills, also April 7th, 2 to 3. That's what we do, Philly. That's your career calendar. I hope you can utilize some of those tools. If you had a problem keeping up with us, please feel free to check us out on YouTube. We do the shows. We run them back on YouTube. So if you need this information again, please feel free to visit the YouTube feed. Just go to Career Seeker Show on YouTube. Do a search, and you got us.
Or if you need another area of the city or suburbs, New Jersey, you know, outside of Philly, if there's somewhere else you're thinking you need some help finding some information on classes or whatnot, please reach out.
So we got Eric Collett from Lowe's. He should be here shortly. I think he's going to come after 4:30 on the second half. Also, we got Matt Shandea of Verge Mobile. You know, the interesting thing about Matt is that I actually had the opportunity to connect with Matt. I found out about the Verge Mobile event, and then I actually reached out to a young lady named Jasmine Sinclair on LinkedIn. She's based out of Houston. Speaking of Houston, this young lady named Brittany that tells me she watches the show every week, and I just want to shout her out because I really, really appreciate the fact that we can touch people as far as Houston. So to Alberta's point, anywhere we can touch you, reach you, just connect with us. We'll try to help. That's what we do. We're going to take a really, really, really brief break. But before we do that, Tiff South,
Yes, sir.
anything you want to say to the career seekers right now before we go into our guest being here today? I know that you had some information you wanted to speak on, we were talking about Equal Pay Day, I believe.
Yeah, Equal Pay Day was yesterday, and so I did a quick. You know how you just look on the Googles and just try to see what news stories are out there. So I was able to pull up 2 stories, both on Forbes, that were published yesterday morning, and one was talking about why millennials need or matters to why Equal Pay Day rather matters to millennials, and the other one was basically talking about why Equal Pay Day is a flawed holiday. And I just thought both written by 2 different women, and it's just really interesting the varied perspectives.
Yeah.
One article is talking about how the importance of making sure that you ask for what you are worth, know what your worth is, going into an employment situation.
Research prior to going.
Exactly. And the other one is basically talking about how the statistic that women are paid 20 cents less on the dollar than men is does not accurately compare. It's not comparing equal sets of data is what her point is.
Correct.
And I think that that's a really good point to note. And what I didn't realize, I don't know if you knew this, Alberta, but that there was a promotion or an idea to offer women 20% discounts at different retailers yesterday to shop.
Yeah, and especially if you were wearing your color, red.
Red. But
But it wasn't publicized enough.
No, and
It was
the
a
thing
newer
is,
thing.
I understand what the idea is, but I do think that it is what I liked about the second article that's basically trying to make sure that people have accurate information, because it is not a mistake that women are paid less than men in some equally situated situations. But what she is saying is that making it this blanket statement is not. There's more to the story.
Yeah.
So one of the things that she mentioned is that some women are not working as many hours. They're not working in the same fields. And so to aggregate all this data and just say all women are paid less is not necessarily accurate. And it's also illegal to discriminate. So like there's a tension there, but there's a lot there. But I do think that it is important to recognize the differences, and I think a lot of times people generally and women have been known to undersell themselves when it comes to asking for certain salaries. So I think that is more of the spirit that I'd like to take away from Equal Pay Day, is that you make sure you know what your worth is, know what the industry standard is, and know how to negotiate and ask for what you're worth.
Yeah, and what I see a lot when I'm recruiting, women are just complacent and won't ask. They'll just say, well, I'm this. Well, did you do research? Have you done, what are your expectations? And so many more women than men answer, no, I didn't. I just thought I would get an offer based on what I'm already making. And no, like you just said, sell yourself, do your research, figure out in that industry that specific skill set that you bring to the table. Much good.
And I think, and you mentioned earlier, there's so much information about how to have that conversation. So that's the scary part, is a lot of times people don't know how to negotiate a salary. But there are like hundreds of blog posts, YouTube videos, podcasts about how to do
Tiffany's
this.
own podcast.
There we go.
How does she do it?
And
Look, you know what? If you want to check for Tiff's podcast, that How Does She Do It podcast number 37 is one to check for. That was incredible. I listened to it this morning. So impressed with the work you're doing on that podcast. That's outstanding stuff.
Thank you,
Really
thank you. But yeah, just know what your worth is and ask for it, ladies.
So speaking of asking for it, it's the spring hiring season for a lot of employers. So that's why we thought it was important to bring 2 of the premier employers in the region out that are looking to hire people. I know, man, everywhere I go, I see our next guest, Eric from Lowe's. Everywhere I go, I saw him at the Huntington Learning Center. I saw him at UL, the Urban League. Alberta Bertolino tells me that they have an event somewhere in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, there's a few of them actually, but Voorhees seemed to be the closest. But yeah, Lowe's is all over the place with career fairs.
I'm sure that Eric will probably be in the building at most of them, and I know I've seen him out 52nd and Jefferson, West Philly. I've seen him out there as well. So he's a real busy guy. The gentleman, Matt from Verge Mobile, he's going to be here. As I mentioned, I spoke with Jasmine, one of his colleagues out of Houston, and she just shared to me that they're really excited to be doing some of the things that they're putting together here in the Philadelphia market. I believe they had a big career event yesterday at the airport Marriott, and I'm really looking forward to hearing how that went. And listeners, I would suggest that you grab a pen, paper, because I'm sure they're going to drop some information about what type of opportunities they're looking to fill, and what's the best way to I guess, get access to those positions. So please stay with us on this one. AB, it's been
Yeah.
really busy. I'm hearing really good things about the Philadelphia job market. They're telling me that 4,700 jobs were added in February alone, I believe.
Was it really that many? Wow.
That's what they're saying.
In our area.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
exactly.
Yeah.
4.5% unemployment. They tell me that it's really a seller's market right now. What are
Yeah.
you seeing as you navigate the landscape?
I have to kind of agree with that, actually, the past couple of, since January 1st too, that people, and we're talking about salaries, more people are above kind of what we're wanting to pay, and then we have either raised salaries a little bit or given signing bonuses to make up for that. And then there's also people, which I want to recommend, you can negotiate vacation time, because that's a benefit that you can, you know, if you're coming from somewhere with more vacation time, add that in. But so I've had people do that too, which is interesting, and it just seems, so it's funny, ties right in with what you just said, Kenneth, you know, with those percentages.
You know, it's interesting because in one of the articles that I believe was produced, or at least presented by Robert Half, they were speaking about increases in salary, increases in vacation days, all things that people are doing, speaking to their benefits, working from home opportunities, things of that nature, all things that people are doing to entice candidates to come on board. So I guess you're seeing that. That's
Right.
actually real.
Yeah, it definitely is, not only, so, and then a lot of companies are doing PTO buckets, so all
When
of
you
your
say
vacation.
PTO, what do you
Oh,
mean?
sorry, paid time off.
Okay.
But so they're, so your vacation, your sick time, your personal days, any other holidays are all lumped in a big bucket. And then it's up to you as the adult worker to take the time as you need it, not just, you know, you get 10 sick days, 10
That
vacation days.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen there are trends of companies that are giving unlimited vacation time.
I've seen that too,
And
yeah.
what they've found is that people don't abuse it. So
Right.
people don't take 6 months of vacation a year because
Yeah.
they still want their job, but they
Right.
take it, and they still don't take nearly as much vacation as you would think if you had unlimited
I'm here
vacation
to tell
days.
you, if you're giving me that vacation, I'm taking it. Will,
I doubt
taking
it.
it.
I
I'm taking
doubt-
it.
Don't even lie, both of you, don't even lie.
I might take off a Friday at least for half the year.
I might,
Every
I
Friday.
might only work on Friday. I'm thinking I would probably just come in Friday, make sure my direct deposit hit.
There we
But
go.
to that point, what I've seen too is that people who do abuse it, you don't want them at your company.
No, and
yeah,
you're not,
so
and
they
you can
select out.
Yeah, you can see that kind of, though, you can
Behavior.
get evidence of that
Yeah.
So
in the
that's
interview.
why I'm an entrepreneur.
There you go, right. You
know
make
what?
your own hours
You can work
anyway.
only every Friday.
I end up working every day in this profession, though. This is really crazy.
It is,
It's
yeah.
always a hustle.
Yeah.
But that's what we do out here. It's the Career Seeker Show. Hit us up, 215-923-WPPM. We do this every Wednesday, 4 to 5, here live on 106.5 FM Philadelphia. Also, broadcasting live with my man Will Martin on the East Coast Executives Facebook fan page. We do this. We live stream at phillycam.org. All we want to do is share the information that's relevant to career seekers. And speaking of career seekers, y'all, we are going to come back. We're going to take a brief break. We'll come back with Eric Khaled of Lowe's. Let's go. It's the Career Seeker Show.
All right, see you soon.